So those are the stocks you should bank on. But some sort of tailwind has started in this testing and hospital space. So that may continue its momentum. That has much greater momentum than the real pharma stock.
Okay. And TCS is not quite at 3,000. It's 2,850, just dilly-dallying there, but 4% higher on a large stock like that. And of course, the market cap is now well over 10 lakh crore. It already hit that mark. Let me first salivate over the index itself. It's about 11,830. So the previous high, as previous post-COVID high, has clearly been crossed. And now we will look forward perhaps to that 9-figure, 11,900 figure. Likewise, the Nifty Bank very safely over that 23,000 mark. It's a 0.8% gain over there as well. So all indices firing well. The mid caps are only one step behind. That index also up 0.6, and the advanced declines looking very stable, very good at 4 in the green for 1 in the red. I'm just waiting to look at how TCS settles. It's now actually settling and climbing up gently, going towards the 3,000 mark. It's 5% higher now at 2,865, 2,870 levels. Very closely followed by all the tech guys. So second in the list is Wipro, third Tech Mahindra, fourth HCL Tech, and fifth Infosys. All of them up between 3 and 5%. So it's totally a nifty IT play. And then you have the Tata Motors, Tata Steel, and the other stocks. Actually, finance stocks not doing too badly at all. HDFC Life is up 1%, ICICI Bank 1%, IndusInd Bank 1%, Bajaj Finserv 1%. And then you have the auto stocks. I already told you about Tata Motors, Hero Motor also doing well. Axis Bank about 0.8 high. What's the red list? It's a small one. There's GAIL there, down about 0.5%. Nothing much came from the gas announcements yesterday. And then you have Asian Paints, Shree Cement, Bajaj Auto, HDFC, Reliance, where, they've all had their run and people are not concentrating on that. But it is about 43, 44 out of 50 that is in the green. It's a very green screen and it is getting greener by the minute. Now the index is rushing towards a 1% gain. Sonia, mid-caps.
The mid-caps are looking equally good. So the index is up about 0.6%, not as great as the frontliners, but good nevertheless. The advanced decline ratio is solid at almost 2,000 stocks on the advancing side. Now you have, all the mid-cap IT names that are surging. L&T Infotech is up 5%, Persistence is up 3%, Mphasis is up almost 4%, Coforge, Tata Elxsi, L&T Tech Services, Mindtree. Any mid-cap IT stock, in fact, any stock that has anything to do with this whole digital transformation is doing really well. So India Mart, for example, is up almost 2.5%. You have some of the cement stocks that have been doing quite well lately. So yesterday, Ambuja Cements was the big boy moving. Today, JK Cements is up almost about 2% or so. Bandhan Bank, of course, we've spoken about that, at length. So Bandhan Bank looking pretty good this morning. RBL Bank also up about 1.5%. All these stocks that have anything to do with hospital services. So Apollo Hospitals, for example, has resumed its uptrend. Yesterday you had Metropolis, Dr. Lal's doing really well. Syngene on the back of that Macquarie report continues to move higher, so looking pretty good over there. Glenmark Pharma is up about 0.5%. So the two guns that are firing right now is mid-cap IT and mid-cap pharma, both looking exceptionally good as we speak. A couple of stocks hitting fresh highs apart from Wipro, TCS, Infosys. There's also Mindtree, Hero Motocorp, Apollo Hospitals and Berger Paints that are sitting at fresh highs. Coforge, Tata Elxsi are a couple of other stocks sitting at fresh highs. So quite good. But the mid-cap index is not doing as well as the frontliners, to be honest. The Nifty, though, is firing now up over 100 points. So Anuj, already at opening, it's a century hit by the Nifty. You reckon this could be an upward move through the day?
Sonia, just to elaborate the point further, the mid-cap index this month is up 1%.
Welcome back. So we are down to the last 1 or 2 minutes of today's action, and we've got a near century on the Nifty, but obviously not closing at the highest levels of the day. So Anuj, what would, all things being equal, what would your takeaway be from today's action?
Well, you have to respect the screen. The screen has been saying that, it's a bullish market. You could argue about the mid caps, but that's okay. Just be a bit careful at these levels. The only thing I would say is sort of be purely going by the mid cap market. That's where there's a bit of a rotation which is going on, or distribution which is going on. But anyway, in terms of index, it's really been another strong day, really led by IT. Though off the highest point of the day, but Wipro was up 7%, TCS up 3%, Infosys 2.5%, HCL Tech 2.5%. Now HDFC Bank has started to join the party, and ever since crossing its 200-day moving average last week, it's gained $100 since then. So it's been a big mover. That's also supported the market. It's got support from ICICI Bank today. Pharma did well, led by Cipla, Dr. Reddy's, Sun Pharma, Divi is also now, of course, in the index now. By the way, it's refreshing to see so many pharma stocks in the index now. There was a time when most of them were thrown out. On the way down, well, ONGC and GAIL. ONGC is down 3%, GAIL is down 3% as well. ITC is down about 1.5%. Now, you know what, the problem with stocks like ONGC is that, if you chase these stocks on any kind of positive news, you're always in for disappointment, because there's always going to be a seller at higher level. And that, I think, could be the lesson after yesterday's move. SBI Life was down, which was interesting, and Reliance has been a bit of a weak stock, Surabhi.
Okay, that's the large cap screen, and really that's the area where the bulk of the action was today. Mid caps fairly subdued, absolutely flat on the mid cap index. It'll come up for you on the screen in just a moment. If I come down to stocks, individual action, yes. Repco Home Finance, for instance, maybe the rub-off effect on from HDFC's commentary is continuing on some of these stocks. 14% up on Repco. PTC India Financial Services 7 to 8% higher. Then mid-cap IT was also looking good. Mindtree would be case in point. Some of the sugar stocks had a good session today. Dhampur, Balrampur up between 5 and 6%, so a little sweet touch over there. What else? Cadila Healthcare 5.5% on the higher side. Biocon 4.5%. Motherson Sumi's managed to put up about 3% as well. So BHEL, of course, had that late rally that Anuj referred to, 2.5% up on BHEL as well. Then we come to the flip side, and here you've seen some profit taking on stocks like Tata Consumer Products, down about 3.5%. Some weakness on Edelweiss. We've seen some gains come off stocks like Gati. And of course, Vedanta has ended down another 4% today as the delisting process continues and the guessing game continues in terms of the eventual price. Strides Pharma, by the way, has lost about 5% as well. So those are the big movers and shakers of the day. Let's take a final comment with Ashwini before we sign out. So Ashwini, I mean, it kind of fell from the top, but it didn't break through. So tomorrow is the last day of the week. What would your advice be?
See, these kinds of shakeouts are done so that the, last player who's getting in, the intraday, the day trader, he gets scared and gets out and maybe builds some sort of short positions. The point is that this market is working on boosters. So this is not going to turn very easily. Now you have more results coming in every day, and if all results are able to have that feel good factor, then basically we should hit 12,000 at some point. I think we have credit policy also. So all these events create volatility, but the sort of strong trend we are in, that trend will take some turning. My sense would be we would at least once get beyond 12,000 and possibly post that have some sort of decline.
Okay, so maybe a run till 12,000 is not really ruled out. And just a final strategy call on IT as well, because that's been the sector that's going to be in everyone's mind today, Ashwini. Now, if for whatever reason you didn't make money in this mega IT run, is there any hope for such people now? Is there any point in latching on at the moment?
See, it depends on what is your view. If your view is 2 years, you buy right now, you'll make money. But if your view is, next 3 days, volatility will come in because things have, really had a very strong run. So that way risk reward short term is not favorable. But I think there is something happening under the surface which is really leading. Tech is all over us. So basically these tech stocks are starting out a fresh bull market based on fairly strong sector tailwinds. So that way it's a positive, but short term you may get into trouble trying to chase.
Okay, noted that. Thank you, Ashwini, for being with us through the day's play, and we will touch base with you tomorrow in the morning. Well, before we sign out, let's leave you with some fundamental opinion as well. Earlier in the day, we caught up with Manishi Raychaudhuri, Asian equity strategist at BNP Paribas. Now, Manishi finds that broad basing of corporate earnings revision is an encouraging trend at the moment.
There's a degree of broad basing of corporate earnings estimates going up. In the early part of this year, particularly during the April-June quarter, we were seeing that only in tech, telecommunications, and healthcare. Now we are seeing it in the cyclicals. We are seeing it in, let's say, in Indian cement, Indian metals, Indian industrials even, and of course in consumer discretionaries. If I go back about 10 to 12 months, from that point onwards, EPS estimates of Sensex, MSCI India, or Nifty 50 possibly declined about 30 to 35% and have only come up about 4 to 5% since the bottom sometime in July. But all in all, I think this broad basing of corporate earnings revision is a good sign.
All right, that was Manishi. We need to wrap up this edition of Closing Bell on that note, but stay tuned. Big deal coming up next.